A lot of people have been waiting for Elder Scrolls 6, although Bethesda has lost a lot of people's trust with games like Starfield and Fallout 76 on launch, and Bethesda also had the name tied to that train wreck known as Redfall. But every now and then we get a shot of hope when they do stuff like this. Bethesda just announced and released on the same day a remaster for Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. There's a lot of Oblivion fans. I jumped onto Elder Scrolls with Skyrim in 2011, and I haven't gone back to play any of the other games yet, so now I and many others have the opportunity to go back and play Oblivion all the way through to see what the hype was about. The reason I didn't go back because I didn't have enough time to play the game, and it looked outdated as fuck. You know, new games to play, not enough time to play them. I heard people say Oblivion was the best Elder Scrolls game, so I decided to try this game for myself and talk about my experience as a new Oblivion player and possible fan. Now, this game's main story is around 13 hours long, and to do damn near everything in the game takes around 60 to 200 hours to do. As much as I would like to play this game all the way through, and trust me I do, there's just not enough time on my schedule to do that. AKA, I got shit to do. This game dropped unexpectedly. At least I didn't know it was coming out. But what makes this release pretty cool is that it's actually on Game Pass day one. I'm saying that because I already have Game Pass, and I decided to check and see if it was there before I paid $50 on Steam. And there it was. If you have a PC or an Xbox, you can play this game for what feels like for free. But before I talk about my experiences with this game, let's talk about what they changed with this game. Because after seeing and reading the changes, it almost seems like a remake instead of a remaster, to be honest. This remaster was done by a studio located in Paris, France called Virtuous, and it definitely seems like a remake more than a remaster. Getting into details, they made a couple big changes to this game starting with the graphics. This game looks breathtaking with this whole new coat of paint. The team over at Virtuous used Unreal Engine 5 to completely revamp the world. From the characters to the wide plains, the rivers, and the caves, they all look gorgeous in this game. The old version of Oblivion's graphics were okay. I guess you can use mods to upgrade it, but I don't think mods are going to really compete with this. The lighting in the world got boosted. The game originally had some dynamic shadows, but the world feels much more alive in this remaster because the light reacts naturally to the world around you. God rays, shadows, all look impressive here. Now onto the combat. The new add-on to this remaster, you're going to get a more modern and thrilling version of combat in this game. They added sound effects to combat. Blood splatters to make the game a little bit more gory. Visual effects, the characters have a more human-like reaction when you hit them. Combat with bows have been updated. They added crosshairs with the bow and arrow combat, and now you can sprint in the game. Didn't know sprinting wasn't in the original, and old fan must be thrilled they can finally get around a little bit faster, unless they've been fast traveling around everywhere. The minigames like lockpicking and persuasion hasn't really been changed, but the leveling system has gotten an upgrade. The team over at Virtuous took elements from Oblivion's old leveling system and Skyrim's system to make a new and improved version of the leveling system. Every time you level up, you must either meditate or sleep in a bed. Then you get points to drop into your attributes like strength, intelligence, speed, and personality. These points dropped into your attributes will increase your stats for that one attribute. One of the best updates to this remaster has to be the new dialogue. In the original, it seemed like a good number of characters, basically NPCs, shared the same voice. Well, they added new voiceovers for the characters in the world, but they also made each race in the game sound a little bit different. New smaller changes also being, they updated lip sync for characters, and they also updated the UI and UX design for the game. Now, I also played the game and experienced the world for myself, so I'm going to talk about my experience as a first-time player of Oblivion. Okay, so I played about 15 hours of the game, so I'm going to talk about my first impressions on this game. As a Skyrim fan, I was very intrigued to find out that Oblivion's lore ties into Skyrim. Well, of course it does. Skyrim and the country Oblivion takes place on share a border. Although the events of Oblivion happened 200 years before the events in Skyrim. But Skyrim still references some events that happened in Oblivion, like the banishment of the worship of Talos and the fall of the Empire. When I started the game and got to character creation, I quickly found out that the character creation in this game was lackluster. I tried for 30 minutes tinkering with my character's appearance, and no matter what I did, my character always looked as ugly as sin. I mean, look at my character, it looked like somebody whacked him in the nose with a pipe. It wasn't going well, so I decided to go with that design. As I played through the beginning of the story, I quickly got invested in what was happening, so I ended up playing the main story up into the Bloods of Divine quest. I got pretty tired and decided to do some side quests and other shit. One of my favorite moments would be when this weird dude told me to meet him behind a building. We talked, and after hearing his plans, I decided not to help him because he kind of seemed like a nut. Besides, I was trying to join the Dark Brotherhood when he approached me. I didn't join the Dark Brotherhood. For some reason, I kept failing the task I needed to get their attention over and over and over again. It's probably because I kept trying in Imperial City. Every time I entered somebody's house, they were awake, no matter what time I enter their house. By the way, to join the Dark Brotherhood, you just need to kill somebody. Like a random NPC and I think not get caught by somebody else or the guards. But I didn't join the Dark Brotherhood before making this video. Another one of my favorite moments, And because I never played or looked up what happened in this game, I didn't actually know that you would be going to Oblivion. So imagine my surprise when I seen a huge portal to hell sitting in front of the main gates of a city. And entered it, fought my way through the monsters to the top of the tower, and closed the portal was definitely the highlight of my experience with this game so far. As a Skyrim fan, I was hoping to run into some more crazy looking creatures, when really, I didn't see too much. Really in the game, the humans are the real monsters. And of course the demons from hell. I know there's a Minotaur and a Troll, but I didn't really see those. And again, this is my first impressions, so what I really seen was zombies, goblins, imps, a couple of big ass rats, and etc. But that's it so far. Anyway, let's get into the graphics. Exploring the open world made me realize that the graphics in this world is a game changer. I watched some videos of the older version of Oblivion, and Virtue has made a really great upgrade from the old to the new version. Hell, these graphics are damn near competing with new AAA releases. And it's certainly a fun and sometimes goofy RPG that doesn't take itself super seriously. Like with a Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 or a game that has RPG elements in it like Red Dead Redemption 2, they are fun and they have some goofy moments. But then you get those annoying mechanics like with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, if you don't eat your food in time, it goes bad like in no time. Or with Red Dead Redemption 2, if you don't take a shower every other in-game day or so, you'll stink to the high heavens. There's none of that shit in here, and I think that's a breath of fresh air. Like I said, the character creation isn't that good. I seen worse, so I hesitate to call it trash. But it could have been better. My character was walking around with a face not even a mother could love, and I wasn't going to sit there for 2 hours messing around with that thing. As a knight with my birth sign being the Lord. I love playing as a brute using two-handed weapons to cut through my enemies. Not really a big magic user. Embarrassingly, I died like 4 times. 2 of those times I was being stupid, and 1 of those times I got caught by the guards while I was trying to kill somebody so I could join the Dark Brotherhood again. Didn't go too well. As a brute, some things about the combat didn't feel right here. When I go to hit enemies, something doesn't feel right. They say they wanted to make the characters feel more human-like, but when you hit them, they kind of look stiff. Sound effects can also be sometimes off. I ran into a couple instances where the sound effects needed to catch up to the things that was happening. But it's a Bethesda thing. So yeah, if you didn't know, that's kind of a common thing when it comes to Bethesda games. But for the most part, most sound effects sound pretty good and are accurate. Wrapping this up, I had a great time with this game. I see why a lot of people like this game. I see why a lot of people like it. I still think Skyrim is more enjoyable. Of course, I'm going to be returning to this game and completing it. But I think the industry needs to do more remasters like this. If you agree or disagree with anything I said in this video, leave a comment and maybe subscribe. Thank you.